Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Mr. and Lady, it's your boy Jerm. You are tuned into Kinetic Aesthetic, and it's definitely been a while since we've done this, but it's time for a Media Review Wednesday. I have not had too much music, too many movies, too much of anything that I felt like reviewing this year so far. It's been sort of quiet in the entertainment realm for me. I guess I'm getting older, as they say. So, you just lose that passion and you start just keeping up with fewer and fewer things. One album that did catch my attention, though, that did have me tune in for it, was the Baby Keem album. Yes, the Baby Keem album. It is titled Casino. It was released not too long ago. Let me go ahead and get that exact date. I don't know why I didn't have this already ready. It was released on February 20th, 2026. And after a long while, because honestly, it's been 5 years since we had gotten the Melodic Blue from this man, and he had won the Best New Artist Grammy, so motherfuckers was wondering where the fuck he was at, and he finally decided to come out of the woodwork. He gave us this. It's a short album. It's only 11 songs, 36 minutes, but this is, without a doubt, one of the more personal albums that I've listened to in a long time. There's a lot of stuff on here. He even released a documentary that to go along with it. And this album is just a lot of Baby Keem exploring his childhood and his upbringing, exploring what it meant to be growing up in Las Vegas, which is where the album's title comes from, because he, from what I was able to learn just doing research on him, he gravitated between Long Beach, California and Las Vegas, Nevada throughout his childhood growing up. And in addition to all of the just, the shit that goes along with just having a family in America and just all the shit, the pitfalls, and they all didn't grow up necessarily having the most money and shit like that. There's a lot of interesting tales and stories that he touches on in this album, and just a lot of good shit to get into. So without further ado, I'm going to quit the yapping and I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to transition over into this next part, so that we can get more into the actual album itself and y'all can get my thoughts on Baby Keem's new album, Casino. All right, Baby Keem, Casino. Just getting into it, my first thoughts on the album. Going into it, I had heard a lot about it. I had just been told this was a great album and that I should expect greatness. So understand that I am going to be sort of grading this from that perspective of expecting a lot. But it definitely started off strong with No Security. That is one of the hardest intros I've heard in a while. It's going to be a theme throughout the whole album and throughout this review, but there's just so much personal shit that Baby Keem baked into this album. It's only 36 minutes, like I told y'all before. But in those 36 minutes, it feels like he really was determined to just tell us his story as much as possible and to give us a good idea of what it was like to grow up being him. I feel like artists like a Baby Keem, like the Big Three, I feel like all of their careers have followed this sort of similar path where the first album is them just establishing themselves and showing what they can do. And that second album was a lot more personal and a lot more, about them. Take Care with Drake, to a much lesser extent, Born Sinner with Cole, and then you had To Pimp a Butterfly, or you could consider Good Kid, Mad City his second one. It's really up to you. But either way, you're getting a lot of personal projects from these guys. So I definitely feel like Baby Keem was going for that with this one. He succeeded in a lot of ways, but there were definitely some ways where he didn't. But after No Security was a great start. You've got Casino, which was up next. It's not a song that I favorited. It's not one of the ones I think I'll go back to that often. But I was able to really just take a good note that man was rapping his ass off. He was really trying to go into this one just showing what he could do as best as possible. And it was with the Birds and the Bees, the song that's up next after Casino, is where I really started to get a good feel for his melody game. And these first three songs are all heat. Like, he really was on a hot streak to start off the album. Casino, again, I didn't save it, but it's definitely a song that I think I'm never going to turn it if it comes on or skip it. Same thing with Birds and the Bees. They're both good songs. The hooks on this whole album, especially these first three songs, is amazing. But it was after that we got to the song that I feel like a lot of people were just hyping, and that was the one with Kendrick Lamar, and it was called Good Flirts. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, this was a complete, just miss. I was not, even the hook itself, and you have my phone up on a Friday night. I don't know. I just wasn't expecting. It's too slow. I was not just a fan of it, and then Kendrick's verse just completely threw me off. Baby Keem and the girl that he has featured on it, if Kendrick wasn't on the song, I would like it a lot more. But Kendrick just came in, and I can feel completely fucked it up. And that's okay. Not even the greatest rapper is gonna have verses that just don't hit, that don't really come across right. And it was definitely for this one for me. House Money, I didn't really think about it too much. Not a terrible song, but again, there's just a. After the intro. It wasn't until this next song after House Money that I really had a song that pulled me in and kept me the entire way. But even then, with this next song, it was some shit that won't go along with that. That song being "I Am Not a Lyricist." Now, this is another one of those songs on here where Baby Keem is just completely leaning into his personal story. He's getting some real shit off his chest. He's really just rapping. I fucked with it and I thought it was a great song. But then at the end, there's this part where he does this little breakdown. It's, towards the end of the song. And he just starts doing this spoken word, little soliloquy, poetic shit. And I just didn't fuck with it. It sounded to me like he was doing his best Kendrick Lamar impression. This sounded like a Kendrick Lamar throwaway on one of his albums, and it just completely threw me off. It made me really think to myself, oh, my goodness, I'm not listening to Kendrick Lamar. I'm listening to a Baby Keem album. If that makes sense. I'm not, like, the rest of the song is really good. It's just that part that just completely threw me off. It was the first real moment where I was just like, it almost like took me out of the album completely. Honestly, I still saved the song, so I'm not going to try to make it seem like it's terrible or anything like that, just because it doesn't completely ruin it, but it just left a bad taste in my mouth, because it felt like he was impersonating somebody else, especially on an album that was supposed to be as personal as this one. After that, we have the worst song on the album, easily the worst, and, coming from me, I'm somebody that normally is a big fan of, getting one of the old school guys on your song, give you that type of flavor. But this song, Sex Appeal with Too Short, terrible. It should not have happened. He should not have got Too Short on this song. It might have been better if he was by himself, but Too Short just completely fucked this up. There's a King Von tweet where he talked about having like an unnecessary hatred for like E. I like Too Short, but this verse on this song, low-key did it, like, had me feeling a very similar feeling. Like, it just was out of place. It just didn't feel like it fit the vibe he was going for. And yeah, no. Sex Appeal was terrible. Now, after that, we had Highway 95 Part 2. This is where the album really starts to get into its own. I feel like the best parts of this album are on this last 4 songs. Like I said, there's only 11 songs, 36 minutes, so it's not going to take up too much of your time. But especially it's only really that middle part with Sex Appeal and then the end of I Am Not a Lyricist that really were a down part for me. But yeah, no, Highway 95 Part 2 is really fucking good. Circus Freestyle is the best song on the album. He is spitting his ass off. It's really just good straight bars from him. So I have nothing bad to say about those 2 parts. I think he did a great job on that. Dramatic Girl, the second to last song, it is the most different. It is honestly sounds like a sort of a rock song, similar to the way J. Cole put the Let Out on the Fall Off. This feels like a song to just experiment and go into a different sort of genre to see how it sounded. Baby Keem did really fucking good. I'm going to talk about this in a little bit when it comes to the cons. I'm not the biggest fan of his voice, but I really love the way he used his voice on that song. I really love the way he sounded with everything going on in it. So that is another one that I liked. I'd say that's my second favorite. And then you end off the album with No Blame. It is one of the most personal songs that I've heard in a minute. It's a song he dedicated to his mom. I really feel like I really like that song. It's not a song that it's similar to Auntie's Diaries with Kendrick. It's not something I think I'm gonna go back to necessarily, but it's definitely a song that left a good impression on me, and I definitely left it getting a better idea of who Baby Keem was and what he was about. Overall, though, I really do say that I did enjoy the album. It was one of those albums that I thought that, if it would have been longer, if he would have tried to add more filler, I might have liked it less. But he left it a nice, short, compact, but still filled with enough songs to just have a different little variety and feel to it to where it just feels like a complete meal. Now, when it comes to negatives, things that I will say about the album that I did not enjoy, as I already went over, I am still not the biggest fan of Baby Keem's voice. He can rap as well as he can and put words together as best as as good as possible. But there's just certain points where I just get tired of hearing the man's voice. where I just had to sort of take a little 5-minute break from listening to it, and that was even on an album not like this. That was 36 minutes. Good Flirts, I don't know why he picked that as a single. I really don't. I get that Kendrick was on it, but there was just so many better songs I feel like he could have led with. And Casino itself would have been great. Highway 95, House Money, any of those I feel like would have been a little better than just leading with that. But again, I get it. Features in general, not just the Kendrick one though. Aside from that last one with Shay Aru, I really just didn't like it. I feel like this was an album that would have been so much better off with Baby Keem by himself. For as personal as the songs were and the music got, this could have worked as an album where he just had no features. I understand, sometimes you just want to put Kendrick on it. The Shay Aru feature, again, I like that one so much where I get where he put it. I wouldn't have taken it off. But that Too Short one was just not necessary. The Too Short one wasn't necessary. The Kendrick one, really, you could have went without. If there's really a mistake in this, and I feel like I'm sort of having a nitpick on an album this short and everything like that, that's really all I can say about it. I am not a lyricist, like I said before. Great song, but that spoken word at the end was just a complete mistake. It felt like that was the one part of the album where it felt like he was trying to impersonate somebody else. But again, that's just that song. But overall, I would say, and this is just, I guess I'm trying to put it in perspective. I think a lot of these songs were good, were decent quality, but I definitely don't feel like most of them were. I don't know. It feels like this album, I'm going to have to give this a number grade. I'm going to honestly say it's a strong 7.5, a light 8. If I have to give it a letter grade, it's like a B minus almost. And that's not to say that I did not enjoy it, that I didn't find songs I'm going to want to come back to, but it just wasn't as. I feel like I went into this album hearing people tell me that it was going to just be amazing and top to bottom, just high quality shit. And there were some moments sprinkled in there, but it just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to make me just walk away from it just being that impressed and thinking it was that great of an album. Very solid, but it definitely wasn't like the best of the year or anything like that. But Baby Keem came through and he did give us something solid. So above all else, I'm going to have to give him credit for that. This is still better than most other artists' output. And honestly, if I didn't have the expectations that I had for it, I might have been able to give it an 8.5 or even maybe push towards a 9, but I don't think I would have went that far. But all in all, that is my thoughts on Baby Keem's album, Casino. If you have thoughts on any of that, if you agreed or disagreed with me, I would love to hear about it. Make sure you please leave a comment in this so that I'll be able to read it and take back what you guys think. But other than that, I want you to continue to be good people, continue to drink water, continue to be the best version of yourself, and tell your friends and family that you love them. This has been Kinetic Aesthetic. This has been your boy Jerm. I'm going to talk to y'all later, but after that, y'all just continue having a good rest of your day.